Good morning. Welcome to Surthriver. I'm Mamie, your hostess with the mostest. So, recently I've been posting a lot about how we can resist what's happening in this current political regime that we're having, and things are blowing up. And it feels very chaotic. It feels very overwhelming. We feel powerless. I've been talking about how we can avoid giving money to big corporations, shop local, thrift stores, and I've got a couple other things. But first, I need to say something. We need to acknowledge that we helped get ourselves in this situation. I know, it's a very unpopular idea, but listen to me, okay? We have enjoyed decades of uh, liberal judgments, court cases won, and we have been enjoying what we thought was the era of compassion and empathy and kindness. Well, we weren't paying attention. We got complacent. There was a whole other movement that was happening right in front of us that was doing the exact opposite. And we ignored it. We said we were going to be tolerant of other people's views. And we should be, but we shouldn't be tolerant of bad actors. We shouldn't be tolerant of a faux news organization that says that they're fair and balanced when really they're not. They're a tool for a political movement. And they were really successful. It took them a long time. It was very quiet. You know that old story about how to cook a frog? And you put the frog in a pot of water and you slowly turn the heat up so that the frog doesn't notice that it's going to get boiled before it's already done, right? We're boiled, ladies and gentlemen, boiled. We are on fire. We have allowed the heat to get slowly turned up, turned up, turned up, and ignore that we are catching fire. So now we're here. We're here. We own it. We had a part in this mess. We didn't speak up the way we needed to. And now we've got to do something. And we can't leave it to our leaders because, as you're seeing right now, our leaders feel as hopeless and helpless as we do. So, what do? Okay, the way to thrive through these times is number one, recognize that in this moment, you're okay. You're okay. You're breathing, you're healthy, life is not falling to total tatters. And even if it is, let's say, for instance, life is in tatters for you, there are moments when it isn't. There are moments, if you pay attention, when things are quiet or peaceful. Grab hold of them, grab hold of those moments and relish them. Know that things can be okay, even in the worst of times. You know, I was journaling this morning and it came to me that prisoners of war, concentration camp uh, prisoners, slaves, the worst of situations, horrific situations, found moments of song, found moments for prayer, found moments of sharing love amongst each other to be support. The worst of times. And yet, these people who were going through horrific things, facing the worst possible scenarios, still found ways to have love, to have peace. Even if they were infinitesimal moments, they found them. And we are not there. We are nowhere near in those situations. I am not comparing what's happening now to any of those situations. What I am saying is that we have reasons to be grateful. We have reasons to find laughter and joy and peace in our lives. We don't have to let what's happening take over our whole brains and become doom and gloom and the world is falling. One of our best ways of resisting is being happy. I know that sounds weird and counterintuitive, but it's really, really hard to manipulate a happy person because they have no need to make the change, right? If I'm living happy, if I am being mindful and I am shopping locally and I'm contributing to my community and I'm a part of things, it's really, really hard to convince me that life is horrible and I need to be afraid of my neighbors because I know my neighbors, because I'm in my community. We have to do this locally, ladies and gentlemen. We have to work with the people that are in our communities to stand up against the tyranny that is occurring in our government right now. This is not a fad. This is a movement. This is if they get us so scared and threatened, they will be able to shut us up and shut us down, and we can't let them do that. We just can't. So, we are going to thrive even through this. It may not be all the time. It may be not most of the time, but we're going to find moments where we are thriving, where we get a hug, where we get to laugh, where we sing a song, where we read a book, where we eat a good meal. Those are ways to thrive, even when times are hard. Now, going back to one of the things I've been talking about recently is not putting our money into the corporate purses, right? So I've talked about thrift stores. I've talked about buying only essentials at the big corporate stores because a lot of us live in places where we can't shop anywhere else, right? So I have been looking for alternatives, and I have found in my community several green markets, and I've been researching those markets to see, who's selling what and everything. And I have found one in my community in South Florida. Um, we have a lot of great farms and ranchers in our area. And there are several vendors at my local green market who are selling uh, meat, produce, and eggs from local farmers. Now, if I'm going to pay $5 or $7 for a dozen eggs at freaking Walmart or Publix, I would much rather, and those are coming maybe from China or wherever, you don't know. And now with the whole trade war thing going on with Canada and Mexico, for getting them from there, that's going to be difficult. Did you see that Waffle House has just added a 50-cent surcharge to eggs on their menu? Crazy, crazy. So I am buying my eggs from local producers. I know that where they come from. I know what they're being fed. I know that they're healthy. I know the people who are selling them to me. Same thing with my meat. If I'm going to pay $15 for a ribeye steak, I'm going to go to one of my local ranchers. And Florida has great beef, grass fed. Okeechobee is right next to me. And there is some great ranchers and beef being produced out there. Okay. So if you're in the area, check out your local ranchers and see where they're selling their produce, their products at. Again, you are supporting your community. You are not giving your money to corporate America, and you are eating healthier because you know where your stuff is coming from. Okay. I've taken up enough of your time this morning. I want you all to remember, find your moment of happy, find your moment of peace, and embrace it. Hold on to it and stand up and resist. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you next time.